In this $1,000 challenge, this is my worst trading yet. I made mistakes, I overtraded, I took setups that I should not have taken. This is exactly why I make these videos and why I upload every single day. So I am accountable for my actions. I know right now I have to share this publicly. So first of all, luckily the damage is not that big. Now, it was for me a very commission heavy day because I traded a bunch of tickers. But first of all, I'm in gross without commissions. I'm down $8.82. So not that bad, but let's then first check all the tickers I traded. Now, we see here a bunch of tickers. That can either mean two things. Either the market was super hot, super hot, a bunch of tickers were in play, or I just overtraded and I chased. So let's just go one by one on. So let's just go one by one the tickers I traded today. So this is the first ticker. This particular ticker did not work out. So yesterday we can see here on the daily chart. So we can see here on the daily chart, yesterday we have here this resistance, and I'm actually looking, can we squeeze higher above this resistance or can we find a new entry? We can clearly see here volume peak. We shot up and it just didn't work out. This is a perfect trade. Then I tried it again a little bit later. Right here, similar setup at this high. Volume came in, volume here. I was also looking here at level 2. Didn't work out, just got stopped out. On both trades, lost $24. Not bad. This is a good trade. Then we go to Wolf. This was actually a terrible trade. This is not a setup. This is not a setup. It doesn't give me a great entry. We don't have enough volume. We can also clearly see the difference here. I saw volume getting in there, but I did not have a setup. This was just a chase and I lost $21. This is just wasted money. This is unfortunate. Now, there's an argument to be made later, and we're coming here at these highs, we have this resistance. So if we can squeeze here, if we then see the volume go upwards, then we break here these highs. Yes, then it's an argument, still not an A+ setup, but then that's a great argument. Hey, we can go up. This was just 100% a chase. And why was that? I was upset because I missed an amazing setup. And I will show you that setup later, but this is a dangerous part. One of the things is when you miss a setup, that's over and that's okay. But sometimes it's so easy then to look at your chart and think, oh my God, you see your setup forming, you see the money that you could have had, but you're not in there because you doubted, because you decided not to take the trade. And when that becomes an absolute monster, it's just a bad trade. And that is very unfortunate. Okay, we come to PLRZ, was also my scanner. This was overall a decent trade. This was a good trade. You can see it didn't work out. But again, this is the exact same setup that we had with ZOOZ. My initial entry was amazing. We have volume came in here, no big resistance. We shot up, but then immediately here we got sold into and we go down. And then immediately we got also bought up. So it's a bit debatable. I don't think it's a terrible trade. My first entry is great. It just didn't work out. My re-entry is a bit more questionable. GoPro. This is a big meme ticker. This was quite a fun one to trade. We have here the resistance. It breaks out. It tests its air. So take a little bit off the table. Always when the trade goes against me, take a bit off the table. And then I see it's still working in my favor. So I add back to my position. I take profit here at these highs. I take profit there. And then I'm looking at how far can we squeeze on this meme. Apparently not that far, so I stopped out here, and then at the open I also stopped out at right below VWAP. So on this ticker I'm up $40. This one was actually quite fun. I think this one had some bad earnings. But usually what do I do now? The first thing that I will do is I look from the daily chart. How does this particular stock respond to gap downs? Now, the only indication here, we have here again a massive gap down, we go a bit upwards, and we got sold into. So that's basically what I'm expecting. I'm expecting much downside. But there's another thing that we need to realize is we are quite low. We are really low here. So what also means if we are here really low, so we're really low, also the overall market is very bullish. So it would not be unlikely that we just get bought up, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So I was very well aware on those factors. On the first occasion, previous bad earning, previous gap down just got sold off, but there's a real possibility that we get bought up. So we see here pre-market a clear support resistance area. So we see this support resistance, and I'm looking how I'm responding to it. There's one possibility that we can just shoot up and then we go to the sky because people think it's cheap, but we get weakness. So I short in the weakness, I take profit, and then it's test VWAP. I'm a bit uncertain about VWAP, so I add back on VWAP for, usually I tend to do this when we have when it's clearly downward trending. This time, so this particular ad was truly not the best one, if I have to be honest. And I ended up stopping out as well. So we got sold off, and then here it forms a base to start trending up, start trending. So at that support and resistance, right at this break, I decided to enter long. I added to my position, and then I removed my ad because the trend wasn't strong enough, and this ad was very much wishful thinking. Then I ended long at the break of my support. I added again here at 10:30, at 10:37, I added again to my position. Now, this is another mistake because I have a difference between how I trade small caps and large cap stocks. This is a large cap stock. So on a small cap stocks, I can look at level 2. On a large cap stock, I cannot do that. On a large cap stock, I have to trust these volume bars. Now, for this particular trade, there was no blue volume bar, so volume confirmation for an ad. So I did an ad basically on wishful thinking and not on confirmation. So that's already a bad indication of bad trading. Now, there's a second rule that's going to be very important that I will show you on this particular trade. So from 11 o'clock, I stop trading. If I see setups or if I don't want to stop, then I can give myself time until 12. That means every trade I take after 12 is a mistake. It's clear and simple, good or bad. It's a very good trade. It has all my requirements. You see here, we have here this base. I get in there, I take profit where I need to take profit. I ended up working beautifully, so I added. And then a bit later, now I'm expecting a bounce of this base because, well, we have here this volume, we have here this clear resistance. Resistance becomes support, so I buy, I take some profit here. This is again not a good ad. It ended up working out. I'm not gonna lie, it ended up working out, but it's not a good ad. So here at these highs, added again, took some profit, and at the close, I closed fully out of my position. Now, was this a good trade? No. My only good thing was like here, my initial entry. Everything else should not have been there. That's as simple as that, and that is the truth. I'm happy that I'm green, but that's not good trading. And that's why I say it doesn't matter whether you are red or green on a trade. It just matters that you follow your rule, that you follow your plan. Because if you don't do that, then it doesn't matter if you're red or green, because in a casino, plenty of people win. The only way to win in the market is if you have an edge. And if you don't trade your edge, even if you're green, it's not good. So then I go to do the absolute trade, the monster I missed, and this was so annoying. I'll tell you why. Now, there are two reasons why I missed this trade. The first of all, I was looking at GoPro and Krispy Kreme at the same time. And they're both meme tickers, so I'm expecting that they will trade quite similarly. And they're both trending on top of VWAP. Maybe they can squeeze some higher. I was thinking in the same direction. I took here the break setup, didn't end up working. I expected a similar break as in GoPro. Well, for Krispy Kreme, didn't work out. But it also means here at the open, I had a perfect short opportunity. What would that have mean? I would have shorted there. And hey, this setup is the setup that I've taken in previously. I would have taken here's a perfect short opportunity. Then I would have added at this particular break and then obviously take profit along the way and yeah, see how it plays out. Now, I knew I missed it, so I was not gonna chase it. So great thing I didn't chase. But then here later this is still a solid setup, but I know it's a bit dangerous because we're forming this base, we sear that base. We also have the same resistance pre-market, and we have here volumes comes in here, we shot out, so that just means, hey, this is a perfect short opportunity. Now entered a bit late, kind of managed my position, but because I entered late, saw this trade late, I got basically just shopped out here, you know, again. I got shopped out right after 12. I was like, you know what, light. So I was like, you know what, I'm still just gonna enter and manage that position. Ended up managing my position and I'm up $30 for this ticker. So my two winners of the day are not trades I can be proud of. And here I go, aim a small cap setup, trade my Volcano setup. Both did not end up working out, which is fine. This is also the truth about my favorite setup. The win rate is quite low, but when it works, you have massive winners. So that's perfectly fine. But that's why I was frustrated that I missed a huge winner. This is a massive winner. Like catching it, like I was ready to catch it from the top, and I didn't this time. But these are valuable lessons. Okay, bunch happening today. I lost here $124. If I did not trade this ticker, wow, I would be so beautifully green. And I wonder, this had a massive gap up, and I usually don't like it. Actually, I truly don't like it when there's a massive gap up but I don't see the price action. It usually means it's an acquisition, it's not really tradable, it doesn't really move. But I checked, or it's an IPO, and an IPO, well, that's a beautiful thing to trade. Now this one had a phase 3 news. That means it's a biotech company and their medication works. So that's incredible news. So I was bullish on the ticker. I'm just looking for my usual entries. So here I'm looking first for this break. Pre-market didn't work. Okay, I go here for the next break. Well, didn't work. Then so far I tried twice pre-market. Failed both times, no worries. Then here at the open, my first entry was good, and my ad, that was a chase. So I entered here at the open and then had a very shitty ad, and then later I have another ad here. This is actually still a decent ad, because my thesis right now is, hey, the buyer's gonna step in. We have here this, so here I chase, so this is a bad entry. But then I expected here, hey, we're gonna continue this road. So I was like, let's keep on going. No, I got stopped out. Yeah, my thesis or my read on this stock, totally incorrect. And then here, right before the close, we get here another perfect setup. I got here my perfect setup and just got tried again and just got stopped out again. And this is again after 12. After 12 means should not be trading. It's over trading. Not a good score. That's that. Either way, this ticker would have always been a very red ticker for me on the day. Truly nothing worked out. And my read was quite off for this particular ticker. And that happens sometimes. You can't win them all. You can't win them all, but at least I can protect my downside and listen to my rules. So tomorrow I'll be back and I won't be repeating these mistakes. See you.